Can I tell you a story how I am legit semi-crazy? Here's the deal. There are a lot of things going on in our lives all the time. That's how we like it. We are not victims of our life, but we have up north stuff. Michael has a busy work schedule. I do things, a lot of things. We have 4 kids, we homeschool. 2 days ago, I did not get good sleep. I'm not going to go into it. I woke up in the morning and Michael was still sleeping because he had to work later. And I was just really cranky. Anna, go back to bed type of cranky. Cora asked to go take a bath. And I said, yes, go ahead, please go take a bath. Well, they got in the bath, they fill it all up, they get out in 5 minutes. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what a waste of money. And I let them know how upset I was about them wasting money. I said,
to your punishment, I am going back in the tub.
I go in the bathtub, and then in the meantime, Michael wakes up. He was supposed to have the day off of work, but he had to actually go into work for a meeting. I already knew our original plans of him being able to work on the bathroom more were gonna be less. I was annoyed with that, and I realized the more Michael is with the kids, the less he's getting done with the basement, but I need a reset. So I stayed in the bathtub, got some things done in there, honestly edited a video, and then I got out. I went into the kitchen and I saw him
cutting bread. The audacity.
and I saw that sourdough bread he was cutting is almost gone. And I'm like,
oh, let me guess, you didn't feed them anything, so I'm gonna have to be the one to really actually feed them breakfast. He's like,
this is just for me. That's all I said. And I was like, wrong answer. I'm not saying this is how you should act. I'm saying this is how I act. So I was still really crabby. So in the meantime, I make a smoothie to get some protein and some good stuff in the kid's belly. And then I see Eliezer starting to play with it. And honestly, he was playing with it in a way that I knew was going to end up messy. But I'm like, I want to see this play out because he's learning. This is how kids learn. They learn through play, experimentation. And I'm like, I know I'm going to regret this, but I think that we just need to let kids play sometimes like this. And so I didn't stop him. And then I thought, God, I wonder what I can learn from this. Let me back up. In the meantime, I was listening to this thing on YouTube. I was trying to upload my video about the tooth pillow and our tooth pillow experience, and I really was in a hurry with it because for the month of April, families could get up to $300 off. A discount for us was really huge blessing, and so I want people to hear about it sooner rather than later. So I wanted it uploading, and it was taking forever to upload. So I stayed in YouTube, and then there was this sermon, and I can link the sermon, and it was really good. It was about Martha and how she was getting crabby about everything, and then he really did say Martha was probably under a lot of stress. A lot of us are under a lot of stress. But is our to-do list the right list? And I was thinking about that. I'm like, yes.
my to-do list is the right list, Steven.
In that, he also had talked about how the Hebrew word for distraction doesn't mean what we mean it as. We see distraction as a bad thing. Got distracted and that kept me from something and the distraction was bad. But the Hebrew word for distraction was actually used with miracle. And the disciples would be like, Jesus, we can't stop here. That's distracting. And he's like,
no, the distraction is the appointment. It is the miracle.
So at first, while I was in the tub, God's like, no, you mean mad about the tub? That wasn't a mistake. That was your appointment to get in there and calm your booty down. Anyways, I'd watched that video. So that was in the back of my mind and in the morning. So fast forward, I'm watching Babers and playing with things. And then I was like, God, do you have a lesson in this for me? Is there something you want to teach me? And all of a sudden, I'm in my head, I'm thinking about how can I be mad at Michael? Why am I mad at Michael? And how can I drag this out and really make sure that he knows it's his fault? Because this is clearly not my fault. Everything that's going on this morning is because of him. And I can pull up a lot of archives to prove that this is him. I felt God saying, what this is really about is you're in the midst of a lot of transition. You're figuring out how to be an online entrepreneur. There's new things to it. There's new skills. And with new skills, things get messy. And that was it. That's what I was watching Babers do. He was playing, he's gaining these new skills, but with new skills comes mess. It's not perfect. But he's like, here's the deal, Anna. You need, just like Eliezer would need grace when he makes a mess while he's learning something, you need grace. And I have that grace for you. And I started to cry and I'm like, oh my gosh. That's what I need, grace. But then he's like, but we're going to clean up this mess. And you are going to go apologize to Michael. And you're going to tell him what's actually going on. Not all your crazy things that you're telling him. So I did the walk of shame over to, yes, I do the walk of shame over to him. And you could tell he was like, what are you doing? Did she have a knife behind her back? I was kind of awkward. I was like, he's like, what? I was like,
I'm sorry. I'm just stressed learning new things and I'm making a mess.
and he hugs me and he's rubbing me back and he's like, I forgive you. It's okay. I just know we need to work on communication during this time and it's going to be messy, but we can figure it out. And he didn't realize everything that was going on in my head because but it was a really great moment and I loved it. I wanted to share it with you guys and how God talked to me, God helped me through it. And so what in your life right now is going messy, but that's a sign of growth? Let me know.